Judging interpretation events is an exciting and entertaining experience. Interp events include dramatic, humorous, and duo. Judging interp is sort of like judging the acting abilities of performers. However, there are some unique differences between performance in speech and debate and traditional forms of performance art, namely the lack of costuming and props. There are three key areas of an interp performance that come together to create the performances you will evaluate: cutting, blocking, and characterization. Cutting is the process of removing text from a full-length play, book, or short story and transforming it into an 8 to 10 minute piece. This is the text of the performance you will watch. Reviewing dramatic structure is a helpful tool when evaluating a cutting. The elements of dramatic structure are exposition, inciting incident, rising action, climax, falling action, and denouement. Exposition sets the scene and gives background information. Exposition occurs throughout the cutting and enhances the audience's understanding of what the character is experiencing. The inciting incident sets a conflict into motion and represents the beginning of the rising action. Rising action complicates the plot. The climax is the point of greatest intensity and the turning point in the plot. Falling action resolves the conflict, and denouement is a glimpse of life after the conflict. When critiquing a cutting, reference areas in the dramatic structure that are weak or strong, and explain how the student can improve upon his or her cutting. A strong cutting is important because it informs blocking and characterization choices. As you judge, consider whether or not the cutting drives the performer's decisions in these areas. Ask yourself, do I understand what's happening? Is the storyline easy to follow, or is there too much subplot? Blocking. Blocking is the movements a performer uses to convey space, emotion, and action. Blocking should enhance the performance, not distract from the story. Movement should be motivated by either internal or external factors. Internal motivation comes from how the character is feeling, while external motivation is based on a physical reaction to external forces, like being pushed or hearing a loud noise. Blocking should not only be motivated, but should be easy to understand. Can you tell what the performer is doing in the scene? Is it clear what character he or she is playing? Communicate to the performer if his or her blocking is ineffective, and give suggestions on how he or she can improve. Characterization. Characterization reveals the personality of the character. The performer should make informed decisions about his or her character based on the text of his or her piece. Personality is revealed through line delivery, vocal and facial expression, as well as varying levels of levity and intensity. Who the character is speaking to often informs line delivery. For instance, if the character is speaking to an old friend, he or she may be more relaxed. If the character is speaking to a person of authority, his or her demeanor may change. The situation should inform the intensity of the performance, rising to a peak at the climax. Critiquing characterization is a matter of asking if the character's response to the situation is believable. Ultimately, the objective of the performer is to use his or her cutting, blocking, and characterization together to create a fully realized performance that moves the audience. The performer who does this the best should receive your one.